Well, hello. Here we go for another live stream. Talking about records which sound great, outstanding. In compared to other records, that is. So sort of dabbling into kind of the audiophile realm a little bit, without going too seriously into it. Good evening, Zeb. Right. Just trying to sort out a link for my guests coming on. Here's one of them. You all right, Chris?
Hey, mate.
How you doing? It's all happening.
Good.
It's been a bit of a busy week this week. Sort of rushing around trying to get everything done so I can so we can do this. So you picked 10, have you?
Yeah, I got 10. Try to stay away from greatest hits.
Yeah.
Physical 10.
Yeah. I think I've got one or two compilations in the lot here. Richard, did you want to come on? Did you need the link, or let us know in the comments?
I just sent it.
Oh, you sent it to him. Okay, fair enough. You're right, Ian.
Oh,
Ian! Oh, yeah, I didn't send a link to Ian, did I? Hang on, Ian. I'll send you.
Or the wrong link.
Yeah. I missed out a bit, didn't I? I'll just send it to Ian. Sorry, Ian. I've been rushing around all day today. I sent you the link, Ian, if you want to jump on. I know you got a few things to show, haven't you? I have some corkers. Corkers.
Cheers, sign.
Cheers. You right, Ian?
Good health.
Good day. Everyone's got a drink but me.
Yeah.
Hi, Richard. You all right?
I am not drinking punch tonight.
No.
It was like this. It was
I can't get a drink. 1 second. I can't have it.
but
much now.
I didn't have a hangover the next day. As you can tell in my video, I look ripe as 9. I was expecting. Hey,
When you said to me that you were up early, I was like, right after punch.
I know. As I put in the text to you, I'm still, not bad for an old fart, is it? Right, I'll go and see. I don't want to get confused here where I am and what I'm doing. Right, that's that for that for that. Yeah, that's the one I want to be in. Yes. Hang on, I've got messages coming from all bloody directions here. Hold on. That's all right. That one's all right.
Well, I've drunk all my alcohol, so I am brew it's going to have to be.
Stephen, do you want to have a quick check of the chat for them, mate?
Right. Can we just be ourselves for tonight, please? Instead of multiple accounts pretending to be other people.
That sounds good. That sounds a plan.
Right. Who wants to go first?
Why is it just you two get I live streams? I don't get any of this.
Because you've just started. You're a newbie.
Yeah. Simon and I have got history on another channel. I'll start. I don't care.
Yeah, then.
Because I'm going to start with a 7-inch single.
Ooh.
And it is Motorhead by Motorhead, the live version, which is far better than the studio version, because it starts off with Lemmy just going, just in case. It's the best version of Motorhead you'll ever hear. And I remember buying this back in the day as a teenager. It's a bit battered now because it has been played a lot. And even the B-side, it's all from No Sleep Till Hammersmith, and you get Over the Top on the back. And that is the band at the time. It's just a fabulous single. Play it loud. Don't play it quiet. Motorhead is not for playing quiet. I thought I'd show that one first because it is just absolutely cracking.
You can't play Motorhead quietly. That's illegal.
It is. Yes, it's bad enough having it in your ear rolls on the thing because it blows your heads off. I tell you. So that was my first choice.
Very nice.
Yes.
Right. Sorry, I think I'm going to show others, but I'll move.
I can do another one. I've got one in front of me.
How many do you have?
Oh, I've just picked a bunch up. I haven't counted.
Don't exhaust yourself, because you might need to last the duration.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a pile here. I'll do one more.
All right.
As I went to see them the other week.
Ooh.
Killers. Produced by Martin Birch. I mean, they sort of self-produced the debut, and it's okay. But if Martin had produced Iron Maiden, that would have been outstanding. But this is that really, really got me into heavy metal. This sound that Martin created with Dave Murray and Adrian Smith's guitars. I mean, you get Ides of March, Rothschild, Murder in the Rue Morgue to open up. I sort of did that when I saw them, and then Purgatory, Innocent Exile, Killers, Drifter. It's just an album full of quality, and it's punchy. And even though this is now very old, it's still, when you put it on and crank it up, it's brilliant. Put it on the CD, it just hasn't got the same effect as this. I don't care about. I mean, I've heard the remaster. It doesn't sound right. This has got that raw edge. That's why I like Killers. It's got a raw edgeness to it because they just plug in, go, and record it. None of this arty-farty stuff that Mutt Lange does. It's just pure aggression and hard, heavy metal. You see? And that's what it's all about, really, isn't it?
Exactly.
That is... Yes. Smoke coming out of Eddie. Steve Harris. You see, people moan about Yannick Gears for prancing about on stage. Now, Steve Harris, in the day, he would be as mad.
Some things just sound better on vinyl, don't they? They got more oomph to it.
Oh, God, this is... You put this on, you just crank it up. Yeah, so there we go. That's two. Enough of me talking about heavy metal.
All right. Thank you. Richard, do you want to go up next?
Sure. Where should we start? I had a hard time with some of this, trying to tease out picking your favorite album by a group versus the one that really does sound good. So the Beatles were really a hard call because so many of them sound fantastic.
They do.
So I went with the most recent incarnation of Abbey Road. This is the Giles Martin mix from a few years ago. I think this sounds stellar because there's just more separation of what's going on. Things are brought up more prominently. Everything is there. It's a complete sound field. And I'm not going to say it's a different album from what you grew up with, but it could be construed that way to some people. They're probably like, this doesn't sound anything like the one I listened to when I was a kid. But it's a solid album. It also has a crap load of songs on one album. It's like, and they're all classic Beatles. So what more do you want? I almost picked Revolver, and then I was just like, the copy. This is my mono Revolver from the last time they released all the mono mixes. I prefer the mono over the stereo, just because. But I'm interested, to see if they do anything else with Revolver that might make it stand heads or tails. My problem with Revolver is that it has kind of a shrillness to it that's kind of like you almost got to turn it down because it's just a little over the top. Just my thought. What do you think?
Very nice. A little bit surprised you went for the remix.
Mainly because I don't have any OGs of any Beatles. So they're either going to be like late 90s stuff and up, with a few exceptions. But I have 3 different versions of Sgt. Pepper, and the remixed one where it does sound like a very different album is interesting. I'm just not sure if it's the best sounding version of Sgt. Pepper.
They all sound very good, though, don't they? The Beatles albums.
They do.
So, I don't know what kind of technology we're recording they had for that. I suppose it was Abbey Road, I suppose, wasn't it? It was probably one of the best in the country. Right. Anyway.
It's just so interesting because it all depends on either it was the producer who made it sound good, the mixing made it sound whatever. There's always some factor that made it sound, how it was pressed, what it was pressed on, how it was recorded, all that good stuff.
That's right. Right, I went for going through my collection. This particular record, which I've always thought sound good, and it's on the direct metal mastering. Remember that of the 80s? That was a thing. And actually, it actually was a thing. It was actually mastered in a particular way, which improved the sound quality of the record. And what I'm showing is the Alan Parsons Project and Mania Avenue.
Oh, cracking album.
And this, I always thought it was a good album, and it does sound good on vinyl. And also, I have, and I think it's worth picking out these if you can find them. If you can see the old direct metal mastering,
yep.
Pick these up. They're not sort of audiophile grade, but they are good. They're a bit better than maybe the usual. We have the best of the Alan Parsons Project as well. So two Alan Parsons Projects albums, compilations to show. Over to you and Chris. Just set up a drink.
Always cost me off guard, mate. Every time you do this. Right. Okay. So somebody mentioned in the comments. I'm surprised the Oasis gig in Cardiff. Well, I did look last night, and one of the tickets was going for £700. But at the moment, they are playing tonight live in Cardiff. But I'm watching a better band next week. So, something completely different for me. So I thought I'd come a bit out the box like I try to do every week. This is Etta James at last.
Ooh.
So this is a brilliant album from start to finish. obviously you've got the big one on your at last. Anything, say your mine. There's so many on you. Let me just double check on this one. No big fold. This is on orange vinyl.
Nice.
So something a bit different this week, guys. Bit of Etta James.
There's nothing wrong with a bit of Etta James.
Classic.
No. Didn't she do the Diet Coke advert back in the day?
Oh,
Possibly.
Yeah.
Ian would
So
remember.
there you go.
Wouldn't
That's
you,
my
Ian?
first one. So
long
Yeah.
time ago.
Right then. Good.
Me, right, okay.
You.
My next pick is this little beauty.
Ooh.
Yeah, I used to have that.
Yes, Days of Future Past, the Moody Blues. Now, this is an original copy. And as you can see, it's done in the dynamic, the Duramic sound system. Now, people say, well, how can that sound good? But coming out in 1967, it can. This was above its time. The sound on it is wonderful, and it still plays as good today as it ever did. And again, it's one of those albums that sounds better on vinyl. I don't care all these remixes, gravel mixes, put it in the spin dryer and take all the atmosphere out of it. No, I mean,
What does Rocky think of it?
he likes it. He likes it when Nights and White Satan's on. Yeah, I love this album. I just adore it.
Yeah. Terry agrees with you. Says great choice, Ian.
Yeah, it is. It's just, and I love playing this. Play it hours and for hours again. You don't play this quiet.
No.
Yeah,
Very instrumental, isn't it?
yeah, it's all a lot of orchestral in it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a fabulous album. So there you go. That's my next choice.
Yes. Moody Blue.
Moody Blues. Yes.
Nice one.
Thank you very much.
Very nice. Right then, Richard.
Now, Rob Walker is going to agree with me on this one because he heard it at David Atkinson's house and went, I have never heard such a good sounding album in a great long time. I guess it depends on what kind of turntable you play it on. This is my OG copy of Ghost in the Machine by the Police. Probably the best sounding Police album, full stop. I don't think this needs to be remastered or effed with or changed in any way, shape, or form.
Constantly is, though, isn't it?
Say what?
Constantly is having reissues of different types.
Might have been. I don't know. Police are one of those bands I have like everything I need, and I don't need I don't need remasters and this. I have them all, and they're all OG, and they all sound great. But this one particularly, I don't know if it was a Metal Master. It may well have been, but the production on here is just spot on. You can tell who's doing what, and it all comes together absolutely perfectly. Big songs off of this were Spirits and Material World. Every little thing she does is magic. Too much information. I like that one. One World. I've heard so many different versions of One World over the years that I always come back to this one. So, yeah. Great Police album. Please don't mess with this anymore because it doesn't need to be. It sounds just fine. You could play this on a cheap Crossley and it probably sounds good. Fortunately, I don't have a cheap Crossley.
Right. I've showed this before. I'll show it again.
Yeah.
It is a Porcupine AC/DC cut. Anything Porcupine regarding AC/DC is definitely worth picking up. They sound really, really good. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with a Porcupine cut. And yeah, if you can find them which you can find these across in the likes of charity shops in the UK. You know, always check the dead wax. If it says Porky Prime, buy it. Even if it doesn't say Porky Prime, buy it because it is AC/DC and they're an awesome band. But yeah, great live album.
They've really got the mix right on that album.
They did, yeah. I don't think you can go wrong with that at all, or any kind of Porky Prime cut. To be honest with you, was he knew how to master the sound to perfection when it comes to vinyl. Anyway, Chris, over to you, mate.
Sip, sip, sippity, sip, sip.
So didn't go to watch Oasis. I'd seen them before back in 2002. Support act was Foo Fighters and the Coro. So yeah, I was spending £700. But I am going to watch my favorite band next week in the Principality Stadium on Friday, and that is the Stereophonics. I don't know if I've shown this album before. So this album is called Ucha.
Ucha!
So good album. There's maybe one filler on here, but apart from that, it is a solid album all the way through. Listened to this loads when it came out 3-4 years ago. So this was the one before they brought out the new one. So I'll just show you the inside.
That's rather nice.
I think that's one of those albums. It's not their best album, but it's one of the best sounding Stereophonic albums for production.
It's on blue vinyl. Most of my Stereophonics albums are on black, but they have started bringing ones out. Like the newest one, this one was on coloured. I got Word Gets Around, Phones and Cocktail are on coloured as well. I don't show this very often, so I thought I'd give it some love today. And I'm going to watch next Friday. So, unfortunately, Simon, I won't be able to join next Friday, mate. But, yeah.
No worries.
And I think the support act for them next week is the Blossoms. So, looking forward to that. So, me and Liz are going down. We're meeting friends from England who are coming over as well, from Somerset. So,
very nice. Cool. Right then, Ian.
Right. I've got a live album. Richard will like this, and I know you will, Simon. I'm going to do it very slowly.
Could tease us with it. Stay
This is an absolute belter. And I mean, I brought the box set with all the live stuff in, remixed, and it's nice, but this just sounds brilliant. I mean, it opens up with, of course, what's it called? Hear Me Calling, which is not one of theirs, but it's brilliant. Know Who You Are, Get Down, Get With It is brilliant on here. In Like a Shot From Your Gun, I mean, that's another great track. The wonderful Darling Be Home Soon, and a brilliant version that ends this, Born to Be Wild. It's a short album, but it's brilliant, and it is an original. It's not a none of your single slave. This is the real McCoy, and when you open it up, that is just a great picture of Slade.
what year did that come out, then, Ian?
1972, I believe.
It's around there, I think.
Yeah, have a look.
I gave it a spin the other day.
1972, yeah.
Yeah.
Fabulous
Great
album.
live album. One of the best, that one.
You know, for a live recording done in 1972, it's perfect.
Yeah. Yes. It's very, very good. Richard.
I knew there'd be some snake somewhere.
Hello again.
Hello.
We lost Brian Wilson, 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Yeah, sadly.
This has to be in the list
yeah.
of greatest sounding albums. had Brian Wilson not been the master of his craft and being the perfectionist he was, even this album still would probably sound amazing. But this is a reissue. I don't care. Even I have the double. Is it a double? No, it's a single CD with both stereo and mono on it, and that sounds good too. There's almost no way you can screw this up unless you find a used copy and somebody played street hockey with it or something. Then it would not sound very good at all. But solid productions. I'm assuming Brian Wilson. Yeah, produced by Brian Wilson. Shocker. Of course it sounds good. And it's history. It's album history, and it's amazing. And I'm glad. I was very late to the game with Pet Sounds. I was like, Beach Boys, surfy. No. Yeah. And so have you heard Pet Sounds? Like, I think I have. Well, I knew some of the songs off it. Got this about maybe 10 years ago. That's how new to this I am. And yeah, it did leave my turntable for quite a while because it is
great album, Richard.
Very much.
Yeah.
You're gonna like this. This how much I love this album. I have the same album, but it is an Audiophile Productions copy. This is top drawer. Anything Audiophile Productions, they sound amazing, and they're not cheap either. And I managed to, if you buy them when they come out, you can get them for about sort of 40-50 quid. But once they sell out, they creep up in value within a few years. They're like double, triple the cost. So buy them when you can, when they're cheap. But I don't have many. I think that's the only one I have. But all that album to have such a quality pressing on. So yeah, love this album, Richard. That's a fantastic album. Good choice.
Thank you.
Just going back to what I was initially going to show, a lot of these, apart from the one I just shown, are kind of like cheap albums you can pick up anywhere really, but sound good. And this is a brilliant example. It's Christopher Cross. It's great production. This came out in 1979. So this is, for me, that production of like the 80s, that great production they had. They started here with this album in the late 70s. It's a fantastic sounding album. And you can pick this up for £5, less than £5 probably, if you're lucky. If you look around, if you get lucky in a charity shop, you might come across it. Great sounding album, and one I recommend. So yeah, Christopher Cross, self-titled. Chris.
Yeah, I'm going to drink a band. Hang on. So this is an album I bought last week. It's Bruce Springsteen, and these are the Lost Tapes 2. So these are, he done this in lockdown. All the stuff that he didn't put out on albums, he's actually put. There's two versions. There's one a 9 LP set, which will cost you like £300, or there's a double LP which cost me £30. So I went for this one instead. But yeah, recently got into Bruce. Started collecting stuff. Bought an album today, which I've been listening to. This one as well. This one is Western Stars, the film documentary he made, and this was actually recorded with an orchestra and his band in a 200-old barn in America, and it sounds amazing. So
yeah,
anyway,
that's another album. Yeah, that's another album, Chris. It's not my favourite Springsteen, but you're right. The production, I think, recording it in that barn just took it to another elevation, especially the strings. They sound wonderful on that. The natural acoustic.
Liz is classically trained. She plays the, she plays the clarinet. She plays all kinds of woodwind, and she was sitting down listening to me as well. And she was like, "This sounds amazing." I was like, "Yeah, it does." But I went with this one instead because this is the most recent one. I've been listening to this constantly the last couple of days. Sounds amazing. and there's Bruce's guitars in Lockdown. So, and the one track I
So
really like in
next
this
question:
is
Are you going to splurge and get the giant box set version of it?
eventually. I think yes, I will, but at this present moment in time, no, because I've just ordered another 2 Bruce albums today because there is an Amazon drop that happened. So I was like, okay, let's do that. I was thinking of buying there's 2 box sets as well he's got out. So it's pretty much his first lot of 10 albums and the second lot of 10 albums. I was going to get that. What I find with box sets is they just take up too much space. So it'd have to be a special box set, I think. But yeah, anybody interested, this is a really good album, especially with the orchestra on this one that I've listened to as well. Really good. To be honest, I haven't heard a bad Bruce album. Kind of, there's ones out there I think, I can pass on that. Overall, I've just got into him in the last year or so, and I'm really enjoying his music. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was going to show Nebraska, but I thought I'll keep it up for Sunday stream.
Nice little one to look out for. Right then, Ian. What are we going for? A single or an album?
An album. It's a classic from 1974.
Oh yes.
Yeah, produced by the late Roy Thomas Baker. The production on this is 1974. Queen were asking all sorts of Roy, and he delivered on this. The overdub guitars from Brian May on Possession is brilliant. I mean, White Queen is fabulous on here. The Battle of Neverett and the Fairy Master Stroke is wonderful. As you can see, it is an original copy of 1974. And it's not my favourite Queen album. Mine's Sheer Heart Attack. For production, this blows all over Night of the Opera and Day of the Races. This is as prog as Queen ever got. But it's just a fabulous album, and it's still got that crispness as it did in the 70s, and it doesn't age at all, this album.
Did you buy that upon a release?
I got it in 1975 as a Christmas present.
Not too much longer after that.
Yeah. So but it is an original copy.
I have a reissue of that, and that sounds fantastic too. I was pretty late to Queen too. For some reason, I was going through my vinyl. I was like, "What Queen albums don't I have?" And I realized I didn't have Queen 2. I had 1, and then I jumped right to whatever's after Sheer Heart Attack. I was like, "Wait a minute, I never got Queen 2." Great album.
Yeah, I've got all my Queen albums are original pressings.
Awesome.
They don't get played very often now because they just too. I did put this one on when I got my hi-fi, my new deck, and I had to put it on, and it just sounds brilliant. I mean, it's had another good clean as well. So I do tend to pay a little bit more, but I tend to listen to it from the iPod if I want to listen to it.
Yeah,
that is a great album.
Can I just mention something quick to Ian? Because I think he may be interested in this. And it's not a vinyl, it's actually a book that my mate, Jeff Collins, he used to do the BBC snooker. He used to be a presenter on the BBC. And he's wrote a book. And it's called Rock Legends at Rockfield. And he does interviews on there with Lemmy, members from Queen, the producers Rockfield, and goes backstage and has a quick, it's an amazing book.
Send me some details. I want.
Okay.
I want.
It's a good section. There's a story in there when he says when he interviews Lemmy, every time he's interviewed Lemmy, he has to have a shot every time he asks a question with Lemmy. So it's quite funny.
That would have been Lemmy.
Yep.
Yeah. So just something out there. I just thought because I know you like.
Yeah. Send me the details, Chris, because that is on. That'll be on my wish list. I think now.
Right then, Richard. Over to you, mate.
Sure. Yeah, it was interesting going through, getting ready for this, looking through Queen. I couldn't decide, so it's like I guess I won't show any Queen. There were several bands that did that. I was like, I don't know, I'm not going to pick one. But I knew exactly which one to pick for Prefab Sprout.
Yes.
And that is Steve McQueen / Two Wheels Good. If you live in the States, I have them both. This is a reissue that's a legacy reissue, and from a few years back, this might have been a Record Store Day thing, I can't remember. What an awesome and amazing sounding album. Not just the track listing, but classic head to toe. It's such a good sounding album.
And their other album sounds great as well.
Yeah, they do. I picked up Jordan not too long ago. I mean, Jordan is such a different album from this, but again, does Prefab Sprout have a bad sounding album? Probably not.
No.
Artist that I'll mention later, that also same boat. But yeah, this was my introduction to Prefab Sprout way back in the day when Love Breaks Down was kind of a minor hit here in the States, but other people, you ask them, hey, do you know anything about Prefab Sprout? They're like, who? Love this album. Love the cover art. Love everything about this thing. But yeah, this Legacy Vinyl Edition, this came out of the UK and sounds absolutely amazing. So.
Cool. Right, so similar to the sort of direct mastering example which I showed you earlier, there's all sorts of like things going on in the 80s that were doing to vinyl to improve the sound over the likes of CD at the time, sort of the early 80s onwards. There was this battle between the two, trying to get more to sell than the other, and they come up with an idea of selling Virgin vinyl, basically, sort of labeling it Quietex 1 and 2. Basically, Virgin vinyl records, which on a nice record, a nice album. This is Asia Alpha, sorry, on the Quietex 2 vinyl, and they usually have kind of a bit of a translucent kind of thing to the vinyl. They're normally like a mauve or a slight bluish color, or they are black, but they actually are black but translucent. You can't. It's probably not the best example, but it's not a typical black record. It's a little bit different, but nice sounding records. If you can find these Quietex 2s out there in the wild, pick them up and try for yourself, because they do sound good. So
totally agree. I have a couple of them. They do sound really, really, really good.
They do. So I don't. There's a picture in there that fell out. Hey, look, Asia, the band. So yes, finding them though is not easy. Certainly find them cheap. You might find them in record shops, second-hand record shops, but out there in the thrift stores or the charity shops, not quite so easy. But they are around.
It seems like some of the Quietex ones I've found have been either promos or like radio promos.
This one is.
Yeah. I know something's for Geffen too. The other one I have is a Geffen, and it was a promo for radio play.
Yeah. There is an early REM album which I did on Quietex as well, which goes for quite a bit of money sometimes on the likes of eBay. But wouldn't mind picking that one up. But it costs quite a bit of money, so maybe one day. Anyway, Chris, over to you, mate.
You're on.
Right. Just some Canadian music.
Yeah, we'll have some Canadian.
Yep.
Gordon, brilliant album.
Yep.
Cool,
I don't know what you want me to say about this.
Oh well,
Fantastic.
it's just put my guitar on, plug in, and go.
So my mum used to listen to him. She used to have a CD player in the kitchen, and this used to be on every Sunday or every time I come home from school. They just kind of stuck with me, and then I discovered it on Amazon on vinyl. So I decided to pick it up. So
That's a great introduction.
yeah, I think so. If you're gonna listen, it's amazing. So there's that's Gordon Lightfoot. Gord's Golds.
I've got something
Which
of
I
his
think
on
we-
CD.
He passed away last year, I believe. Was it last year?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, pretty recent, wasn't it?
Fantastic artist.
Yeah, so there's my choice, Canadian artist.
Gordon Lightfoot, the great Gordon Lightfoot. Right,
I was
so good.
at a thrift store last week.
Yeah, I actually like to listen to. That's a Sunday record. You know when you're just
very
chilling
much
out
so.
Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Put that on. You have your cup of coffee or cup of tea, and you just chill out.
There are certain records
So-
perfect for Sunday, aren't they? And that, I agree, that's one of them.
Yeah, that sounds like a live stream.
Yeah, you'll find out one of my Sunday morning records on Sunday.
Motorhead.
Good.
Yeah,
You got a good lineup for Sunday. Yeah, you got a cracking lineup for Sunday, mate.
yeah, I've heard. Be a good one.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it because I didn't realise I didn't have a. I thought, have I got enough American? And I found out I have.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Here's an interesting one.
That is a bit different.
And variations. Now I'm going to read out who's on it. I'm sure you'll guess who the band is. You've got Don Airy on keyboards, Rod Argent on keyboards, John Heisman on drums, John Mole on bass, Gary Moore on guitar, Barbara Thompson on wind instruments, the Barbara Thompson, and Julian Lloyd Webber. Basically, it's a Colosseum 2 album produced by Andrew Lloyd Webber. And it's the variations of Paganini.
So winding up the dog, Chris.
He's sitting there looking at, yeah, all right.
Lucky.
Yeah, I love this album. It was the theme tune to the South Bank show as well. And that's how I got into it because I love that bit of music. And I found out who had done it and I went and brought the album. So there we are. Variations Andrew Lloyd Webber or Colosseum 2. Great album.
And that's quite obtainable, that one. I've seen that one around a few
Yeah,
times.
it is. You'll always find this. It's in charity shops. It's. I've seen it at records. I've seen it at Leeds 2 or 3 times. So it is available. Good album. Though. 1978. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Another good one, Ian, says Terry.
Yeah, I've got them all here tonight. Anyway, I know where he wants to go. I will see you in a minute.
Right. Go then, Richard. Over to you, mate.
All righty. Speaking of Quiet Vinyl, this one's an interesting one.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
I've got my copy here as well.
same one?
Not the same one, an original.
Okay. I don't have an original. This is a reissue. Not exactly sure when because I was looking on the sleeve. It doesn't say. But this is Quiet's SVP, which I'm not too terribly familiar with. But
Right.
it sounds
A later variation, maybe.
Yeah. it could be. Yeah. Dave Brubeck's Quartet Time Out. It's a classic. I think Rob Walker went to a car boot sale and found the double album of this. It has Time Out and Time In. And it's a double album. Now I want to take this out and see if it looks. Whoa, let's let everything fall out of here.
You should
Wow.
be able to.
Check that out.
Nice label. Nice sleeve.
Sleeve, the sleeve. I was like, holy crap, the sleeve. It's trying to get.
Can you see light through it? You might be able to see light through it if you hold up to the light.
Very, very. It's also 200 grams. It's really thick.
That's quite thick, isn't it?
Yeah. But still, 6i. I was like, hello. But yeah, I didn't realize. I just pulled that out. I was like, ooh, I didn't notice that the sleeve was even a quiet sleeve.
Yeah.
Got this in a youth shop, my local one, which I could walk to.
That sleeve is quite. Sorry, Richard. That sleeve is quite recent because it's got a website address on there. Is it not?
ClassicRecords.com.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I didn't realize they were still doing them. Quite thick stuff.
I'm gonna have to look into this one, figure out like exactly what its history is and how old it is.
Yeah.
Gorgeous album, wonderful. This is always one of the very first. It's like, what do I get into to get into jazz? Start here, and 2 or 3 others I might show over the course of the evening that were also good starting points for jazz.
I agree. It's a great place to start with jazz.
There you have it.
Thank you, Richard. Well, I'm going to dig my one out now, aren't I, Richard? Right. So, yeah, an original stereo copy, 1960s UK copy, Avery Beck.
Oh, very nice.
Lovely album. This cost me £10 probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was a bargain, you know. And,
is that the first press, you said?
First press, yeah. I believe it's first press. There you go. CBS. Yeah, good place to start regarding jazz. I would say this time out.
It's iconic. It's just.
It is.
It screams jazz and in a good way. It's not obtuse and weird and Hollywood.
No, I agree, Richard. It's a fabulous album.
Yeah. So yeah, Chris, if you ever want to dabble with jazz, it's not a bad place to start. I know it's not really your bag at the moment. One day it might be. You never know. Your taste might change.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I had this this week. Rob from Northern Revolution sent it to me because I've been looking for it, and he had a spare copy. This was his original, so he sent it over to me. And I love when records smell old. You know that smell.
Yeah, it's got that old.
So I watched the film today. What a documentary film! Absolutely amazing. Recently got into the band thanks to Rob. He's getting me into a lot of music at the moment. It's cost me a fortune, but yeah, brilliant album. This, you know, and like the people that appear on it is insane. Like you've got Eric Clapton, Neil Diamond, Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell, Van Morrison, The Staples, Ringo Starr, Muddy Waters, Ron Wood, Neil Young.
It's not a bad
like a who's who of rock and roll.
Well, brilliant.
Yeah, it's like a 3 LP set, that isn't it?
It is a 3 LP set, yeah. So this is my choice. Loving the band at the moment, collecting their albums in the process. So, but yeah, he sent me this one, so I had to show this one today because I think this is an amazing album. So there you go.
I picked mine up for about £1.
Yeah, I don't think you can pick it up for £1 anymore.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's not that.
Yeah, it's not exactly rare, but it's one of those ones if you find it in like a thrift store or something that they're usually beaten to crap and they're cheap, but now it's getting to the point where they're beaten to crap and they're expensive.
No.
So yeah, that's my choice.
Nice one. Good.
I'm going to show one of the greatest rock albums ever made. 1970.
Ooh, good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Speed King at the beginning, it just blows your socks off, doesn't it? You know.
I've never owned it.
It's not a music; it's just a noise. The first 3 tracks on there just blow your head off. Speed King, Bloodsucker, Child in Time, and you think, well, what are they going to follow that up with? Flight of the Rat, Into the Fire, Living Wreck, and Hard Loving Man. The best rock album ever, and it was engineered by Martin Birch. He didn't produce it; he was one of the engineers on it. And of course, it is the fold-out original, and you can tell it's original because it's on Harvest, and it's as stiff as an old board. It doesn't wobble; it's thick, but it sounds better than any of these remastered ones. I mean, I've had this a long, long time, and look at that. Still got a shine on it.
Quality.
Looks amazing.
It's a quality album, and if no one hasn't got it, go and buy this. I know it's hard to find original copies of this, but just get it. It's
UK press, of course.
a UK press, of course. Yes, got to be. So it's a brilliant album. It's my favourite Deep Purple album as well.
Yes, one from my radar. That one.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Now it's on your radar. I'll if I see it. If I can, I will try and get you an original copy if I can find it. Because you've got to have an original copy. You don't, the others are okay, but if you're going to have a copy, you've got to have the superior.
Just if you can find them, because I imagine they're quite expensive, aren't they?
I have seen one about 6
Yeah,
months ago.
You can get lucky and find these things sometimes, can't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, Richard, over to you, mate.
Okay. So those of you who followed me for a while know that my kind of introduction to the record world was Elvis. And I have a lot of Elvis. I don't have every Elvis, especially not on vinyl. But there are some Elvis albums that certainly sound better than others. And some of the reissues that have been coming out as far as like trying to do relatively audiophile grade Elvis, this one is probably at the top of the heap as far as a fantastic sounding Elvis album. This was like vocally at his peak, arguably. From Elvis in Memphis, this is 1969, I think. Yes. This is a Speaker's Corner edition that I picked up from Mike down at the In Groove in Phoenix. It was the first thing I ever ordered from him because I couldn't get this locally. I tried. And so solid album through and through. What's on here? Wearing That Love Book, Only the Strong Survive, I'll Hold You in My Heart, Long Black Limousine, It Keeps Right On Hurtin', I'm Moving On, Power of My Love, Gentle on My Mind, Glenn Campbell, After Loving You, True Love Travels on a Gravel Road, Any Day Now, and the infamous In the Ghetto. Amazing album, amazing sounding album, great press, and I'm pretty sure the Speaker's Corner edition is still in print and findable. But yeah.
That even sounds good on Spotify when you play it through your...
Yeah, it's really well produced.
I mean, when I did my Elvis story, I was listening to that on Spotify, and I put it through my speaker system, my deck, and I was so surprised. It's probably one of the best sounding albums I've played from Spotify.
Yeah, it's one of those ones you can't screw it up. Streaming or otherwise, it sounds good.
Nice one. Right, I've gone with this little classic by Donald Fagen, The Nightfly.
Oh, I pulled that too.
This is a good Sorry?
Yeah. Brilliant album.
This is a decent sounding album. In fact, anything regarding him and his band, great sounding albums. But he went on his own regarding this one. Bit of a solo stint. But yeah, really, really good sounding album. And it's not too expensive either. You can pick this up for £5, £10, maybe a little bit more. So yeah, it's reasonably priced. So nice, cheap little find for some people looking for it. Perhaps in the charity shops, you never know, you might come across it. Might even pick it up for £1 or something like that. Who knows? But there you go, Donald Fagen and the Nightfly. Right, Chris.
One of my favourite artists that I like to listen to, another one on a Sunday morning. Haven't got any albums by him, but I've got a greatest hits, so struggling with. This is Roy Orbison.
Oh, yes.
This is the Ultimate Collection by Roy Orbison. I'll show you the inside. He's got quite a few albums up.
Yes, he has. I think he's in the laundry list somewhere. My laundry list.
So you got, Pretty Woman, I Drove All Night, Crying, Only the Lonely. She's a Mystery to Me. It's there's some songs new with the Traveling Wilburys as well, which is Not Alone Anymore and Handle with Care.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
great. This one is just on. Yeah. Sounds amazing. Love a bit of Roy on a Sunday. So there's my choice. It's Roy Orbison. And this is the Ultimate Collection. So, yeah.
He sadly passed before he went to number 1, I think, didn't he? Roy Orbison with the Travelling Wilburys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Great voice. All right, Ian.
Well, I'm going to show an album that doesn't. This band don't get much love in the VC. They're from Japan, and they're called Val Val. And this is an album called V or 5. The producer was the most important person on it. It's the late great John Wetton. And the previous album was a little tinny, it's good, but John came on board, and they got a new bass player, and I'll show you the band. Can we recognise the bass player? A legend, that's Neil Murray.
Oh,
Yeah, he joined the band, and I've seen these 2 or 3 times. They are fantastic. They were a fantastic band. Sadly, the guy next to Neil, the drummer Glenn Key, died of leukemia a few years ago. But the guy at the front is the singer, and what a falsetto voice he's got. This is an incredible album. It opens up with a great track called Don't Tell Me Lies. The drumming's on it is good. Now, this is made in 1987, so everyone wanted smooth, not John Wetton. He just wanted a hard-hitting rock album for them to promote in the UK, and it did produce some good singles that did well in the rock charts. But this is a super album by a super band that are very underrated. Val Val from Japan.
Cool.
very cool.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, check them out.
Yeah, I'll have a look. Right, Richard, what have you got to show? What are you going to show us?
What should I show? What should I show? I just looked at the producer on this album, and I thought it was somebody else, but it's still amazing. But anyway, this was my introduction to the Waterboys.
Oh, super album.
Yes, I've got that.
And this CD is not only a stunning song guys album because it's so different from Fisherman's Blues. It is just a sonically beautiful album to listen to. This is my OG from way back in the day. and produced by Mike Scott. I actually thought this was produced by Steve Lillywhite, and I was wrong. So be it. But Don't Bang the Drum was my introduction. I heard it on MTV, and I went, I have to get this album, and I did. The whole of the Mood, Spirit, The Fan Within, Medicine Bow, Old England, Be My Enemy, Trumpets, and stellar title track, This Is the Sea. Love it.
Yeah, that album over here, the impact it had when that came out on the band. They were popular, but that took them to the next level. They all of a sudden they were all in the pop magazines. I mean, The Moon, that was a top 10 hit for them, and they went into another level. I mean, everyone, people like them, but that album did make them from an underground band to a
More mainstream,
and that is a terrific album,
isn't it? Yeah, they never were really big here. I mean, I'm not going to say they're like B grade or anything, but they have their cult core of fans, and yes, they're
Mike Scott.
loyal.
He's an incredible musician and producer.
Nice one. Right, gone for American artists here. I'm sure Richard would know who this is, and I imagine Ian would know. Not sure if Chris would know. But if Chris, if you're not aware of this artist or this album, I recommend you check it out, being that you have quite a few American tastes, and that is Billy Squier. Don't Say No.
Don't say brilliant.
Yeah.
This is
I
a
know
classic.
exactly.
Classic album, and I managed to pick up a Japanese copy, and it is fantastic. It is a cut above the rest. Japanese stuff is the shit, and I recommend
It's the
this album. And if you can find a Japanese copy, even better. So yeah, Don't Say No, Billy Squier. That first track in the dark, it's just those guitars on that is just phenomenal. Great, you'll love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great album.
It's
I've
one
seen
of them tracks that grabs your attention. It is a classic opening track of an album, and
It is. It is. Yeah. All right, Chris, what you got for us, buddy?
Genesis.
Oh, yes. Yes.
This album's called Turn It On Again. So you got Turn It On Again, Visible Touch, I Can't Dance, Hold My Heart,
oh God,
No Son of Mine, Tonight, Into Deep Congo, Jesus Knows Me, That's All, Throwing All Away, The Carpet Crawlers. Got this from HMV, so obviously this is a reissue. Just show you the inside real quick, if I can get to the bastard. It's a see-through vinyl.
Ooh, nice one.
the only thing I like about that album is how they make up the word Genesis with all different letters from their different eras, and from covers.
That is neat.
I can actually tell you what covers they are. That's how sad I am.
I picked this up. So a few years ago, they brought out the box set of the greatest hits, and that sold out pretty quick. And the price now was quite high. And then when they released this one, I was like, yeah, I'm going to pick this up now. Because I missed out on the last one. So I think that the box set was called The Last Domino.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good album. Anybody want to get in Genesis? Give us a crack.
No problem.
It's
I think I might have
25th anniversary. It's the 25th anniversary reissue.
I think I might have that on CD somewhere.
I don't own it.
So, yeah. Bit of Genesis. Yeah.
Yeah.
my favorite Genesis album, and to me, one of their better sounding. I know Ian is like a purist with older Genesis stuff. This I just love the it. This is a Sunday morning album in a lot of ways. So, but just saying, I love side 2 on this one, where it's those like Duke's Travels and Duke's End, where these
I love that.
soundscapes are just beautiful. So.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what I'm like. It's
No. Right. We're going to go back in time. So, wonderful album by the late Steve Harley.
Oh,
Best days of that. Do you know who produces this? He's been mentioned already tonight.
Steve Lillywhite.
No, Alan Parsons. Is the
Oh,
producer.
even better.
Yeah, it's the best album that Cockney Rebel did. I mean, it's lovely. The Man Made Moonlights. Mr. Raffles is on here. The wonderful panoramas on here, and of course, it's got Make Me Smile on this. It's got the brilliant Jim Cregan on this album playing George Ford, Duncan Mackay, and Stuart Elliott, and it's a fabulous album. For 1975, it's such a well-produced album. But then again, when you've got Alan Parsons doing it, you knew you was going to get a quality production on the album. This is just a fabulous album. It's Steve Harley at his very, very best. I just love that picture. And then there, of course, on the back, he's got a Cockney Rebel. Brilliant album.
what is that dog doing? On the tree.
Oh, he goes where he likes. He's now under the desk, which means he's ready for a saddle. He's probably had a wander
Nice.
around. He's had a drink.
I was like, what is that sound?
Oh, clip, clop, clip,
It
clop.
sounds like somebody opening a cash register.
Yeah.
It's like, is he uncounted his money there?
Yeah, yeah, it's because I've got vinyl floor in here, so you do hear him clip
Right.
clopping everywhere.
Right. Richard.
Alrighty. I could have gone a lot of different directions with this band, but I opted for their album that was produced by Todd Rundgren, who we know done a lot of production and fabulously so. Went to toe with the lead singer of XTC on this one, but ended up with an absolutely beautiful, beautiful album with Skylarking. Love this album. This version has, what is it? I can't remember the name of the song, the controversial one. It's not on here. Oh, cool. Dear God. Dear God is not on this copy. That's interesting. Anyway, so Skylarking, sort of my introduction to XTC by way of the video for Dear God, being all over MTV at the time. This is not an original. Well, or this could be an original because it doesn't have Dear God on it. Go figure. Beautiful sounding album. XTC, I don't think have made a bad sounding album. It's just different degrees of whatever was. I think your entry point to XTC. Oranges and Lemons is another really good sounding one to me. As is their back catalog. I had that double 45 edition of. Can't remember the name of the album. Live streams. So much fun, man. You just can't remember what you wanted to say. Anyway, XTC, Skylarking, fantastic album. It's right back there. I could grab it, but yeah.
Yeah, that's one of them bands where you come in. I came in really with Making Plans for Nigel and Sergeant Rock. I think that's just great. And then I like it when they did the Stratosphere stuff. I thought that was absolutely
Yes.
totally left field.
Spin on it.
Right. I spun this the other day, and I've forgotten what a good sounding compilation this is. This is the autobiography of Supertramp. This is a good sounding record.
Very nice.
Yeah, it just sounds really, really great. It just struck me when I heard it the other day. I think it's been shown before in the VC, and it's been mentioned what a good sounding compilation this is. So yeah, the autobiography of Supertramp, worth picking up.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't got a copy on CD, but the live album in Paris again is just a fabulous live album. So's that one.
Yeah,
That is,
Yes. I don't care. It's not audiophile. This is straight up the original. Sounds magnificent. My hearing is so bad. I wouldn't be able. If I had a MoFi edition, I don't know if I would appreciate it. But this sounds beautiful to me. So,
they just sound good on vinyl, don't they?
yes,
They
they're
do.
just well produced and well pressed. Full stop.
yeah.
I agree. Right then, Chris, over to you.
Sorry, I was just reading the comments. Okay. British band, I think this may go down as one of the greatest hits ever. This is Dire Straits, Mark Knopfler. It's pretty good. It is pretty good. You've got all the hits on you. You've got a couple of tracks off Mark on you. Let me take another drink. Then you got the band inside. Pretty cool. And if I'm being honest with you, I do like Mark Knopfler's new stuff. It's a bit more chilled out, but this is a good album. If anyone wants to get into Dire Straits, this is a good comp to get. So you got Salt as a Swing, Romeo and Juliet, Tunnel of Love, Money for Nothing, Walk of Life, and then Foo by Mark on there. So yeah, bit of Dire Straits.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I got mine. Got mine here. Can't go wrong with a bit of Dire Straits. Brothers in Arms. Great sounding album.
I bought this like when I first started collecting vinyl. I think this was like the third album I ever bought back in lockdown when I first started collecting in lockdown. My father-in-law put me on this, and he's like, this
I'm
Joe
not
Bonamassa.
surprised. Dire Straits is a must on vinyl.
So yeah,
Right, Ian.
Right, we're going something about Cubal. It's a band that I like promoting now and again in the VC. From 1984, The Art of Noise, and their debut album, Afraid of the Art of Noise. Got Anne Dudley on it, who's a brilliant musician and conductor. It's produced, though, by the wonderful Trevor Horn, who just got the best out of everything. He actually plays on this. I mean, it's got the wonderful moments. I love that ambient song, close to the edit, the single, snapshots on here, beatbox, all that babadoo babu. It's just, the production on this is fantastic. I just love The Art of Noise.
Yeah, and what kind of music is that?
It's electronic.
Right, okay.
But it's weird. But there's lots of voices on it, and this is the one you need to listen to first before you go into other things. If you've heard the film Dragnet with Tom Hanks and
yeah,
they do the theme tune to it.
Okay,
That's the
gotcha.
Art of
Okay.
Noise.
Right.
They're very similar to Yellow, who did
Is it a bit avant-garde?
It's very avant-garde, yes.
Yeah.
But if you like something a bit obscure, this is the band. And it's on a great label. I mean, look at the cover. You got that one side, you got that the other. And it's on ZTT.
See, I think in America it came out with that picture on. That picture was on the cover.
Yeah, it's But it was a big album for them. That for a debut album, it was just.
Nick's got it on 12-inch.
I've got the 12.
Yeah.
Got loads of Art of Noise 12 inches. I have. Yes.
Right, Richard.
I didn't realize Dire Straits' drummer was Welsh. No idea.
What?
You learned something new. Cool.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I was right. Thank you, Wyoming Dave. I was trying to visualize that. I was like, I know I've seen that Art of Noise album, but it was like, not with that cover. God, I hate when they mess with cover art. Just leave it the way it is. It's fine. This band managed to get 2 albums before their lead singer sadly died. Arguably, their second album is the better sounding one, and that's Joy Division's Closer.
Good choice.
Yeah, good choice. Yeah.
Love this album. If only for what's that big huge song on here? Hang on. Again, brain dead. Yeah, it's interesting how they put this is a reissue, but it has like all the information on it. It's like the original sleeve was a paper sleeve, really. And honestly, both Joy Division studio albums sound utterly fantastic. And pretty much any of the record store day issues of live shows or whatever that I've found also still sound fantastic as a kind of a semi-compilation. People keep texting me, leaving me alone. I'm busy. So Closer by Joy Division. Dark, very moody, very introspective, but definitely Joy Division and definitely Ian Curtis and all of his somber glory there.
Just out of curiosity, Richard, what made you pick that one over the other album?
I think it was 6 of one, half dozen the other. I think I pulled that first one first and looked at it and went, yeah, I think Closer is probably the better sounding of the 2. I could be wrong. Would you argue otherwise?
No, I wouldn't. No, not at all. Just wondered.
You could debate. It's fine.
No,
You can fight about it.
just curious. That's all. Right. Would you say that this compilation can have a place in this live stream? Sound of Bread.
Oh,
I can beat that.
now you're talking.
I always thought this is a lovely compilation to pick up, and it's pretty cheap and it's very obtainable out there. And I think you'll find that a lot of people who start collecting vinyl buy a copy of Bread pretty early in their collections. I know I did, but I'm sure there's others out there who haven't as well. So yeah, they're funny fun songs.
It's a great introduction to the band, that is,
It is.
before you get into the deep cut stuff.
Yeah, it is. I do have another album of theirs, but I wanted to show this one in particular. So it's a good starting point. And you've got a copy of the Best of Bread, haven't you, Chris? No.
That's the one I have.
Yeah. I've got that one as well.
That's the one my dad had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a gatefold.
Yeah. Obviously, this was a reissue, but
Yeah.
I love Bread. My mum was in bed, kind of Sunday situation, CD on in the kitchen. But yeah, right. Okay, where should we go? Let's go to America. Favorite artist of all time, Richard? Anybody know who my favorite artist of all time is?
Stereophonics?
No, that's a band.
You asked.
I can show you the entire collection of Stereophonics. You want to see it? I don't think everybody wants to see it. So this guy, brought out a country album quite a few years ago now, and it's Mr. John Mayer.
Okay.
Like I said, I watched Live in Ireland last year. Absolutely amazing acoustic version. Brilliant. This is more like a laid back kind of country, kind of Sunday morning kind of song. Queen of California. Someone like Olivia, Born and Raised was a big one. I'll just show you the inside so you can kind of guess what's going on there. So it's more like an acoustic kind of country kind of album he went for on this one. And this is just on black vinyl. I was gonna get Bowie, but he's on the wall. If you look behind me here, you can see Aladdin Sane right there.
Yes.
That's actually a signed photograph from David Bowie.
Nice.
That's a we're not worthy moment.
Yeah.
It says, I love you, David, kiss, kiss, kiss. That was my mother's, that's the original pressing my mum had when she met him. So
Ah,
that stays on the wall.
yes.
Okay. That doesn't get played. That's more of a history of the family, if put it that way.
Yeah, if it's an original pressing and David's has signed it, that's worth a couple of quid, I'd say.
Exactly.
Ian, your
Yeah,
next
and
one's going to knock us dead, isn't it?
Is it going to knock us? Let's find something to knock you dead. Oh, yeah. I know which one.
Here we go.
Okay, everyone knows one of my favourite bands is 10cc, but the best sounding one is the original soundtrack. Any album that opens up with the La One Night in Paris is brilliant. And then side 2, the second sitting of the last sub, and they still play that to this very day. This is wonderfully produced. It's a proper avant-garde pop rock album, and it's the album, of course, that's got I'm Not in Love on. Absolutely fabulous album.
You can't go wrong with 10cc.
You can't go wrong with anything by 10cc.
No.
Nope.
No.
They are
They're all
one
great
of
albums.
the bands.
Great Manchester band.
Yeah, probably one of the best that come out of Manchester or Stockport if you're going to be
Picky.
And Graham Gulman didn't just write; he wrote a lot of stuff. He wrote stuff for the Hollies. It's amazing what Graham wrote for other people. But it's not my favourite album. I think it's my second favourite, but it's the best produced album. This is when they were at, I think, at their prime. I mean, I'm Not in Love. It's just the production on this is brilliant. I mean, I've got the single of this, but it's just blows it out the window. Brilliant album from a brilliant band.
I think with the Garden 10cc, they kind of took the mantle from the Hollies for me, didn't they? You know, of one of the best Manchester bands of their era.
Yeah, they're just. For me, I love them because they've always been on top of the pops. I first started, I remember watching Rubber Bullets, and I just love that dugga-da-dung, dugga-da-dung. And then it went on. I mean, Lol and Creme, brilliant people. I mean, they went on to make some fabulous stuff on their own, but it's just an incredible album. There's some fine musicians, Rick Fenn as well. Just a brilliant band.
And they're relatively not expensive, are they? They're quite reasonably priced albums, aren't they? Find them next to a dime a dozen.
Yeah, I mean, I picked that up for £5.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah, and it's an original pressing. It's not a reissue, it's original pressing.
Yeah. Right then, Richard.
Me? I could have chose any of this band's first 3 albums and said, yeah, these are great sounding albums. They're difficult listening albums, but I went with their second album, which in the States came out like this. It's Public Image Limited's Metal Box album. Second edition in the States as a double album, but it was like a triple in the UK and in a wonderful metal tin that sells for extortionate amounts of money these days. I can imagine it would sound fantastic. I have it on CD, but anyway, Public Image Limited at not their scariest. That would be Flowers of Romance, which is a really difficult album to put together, but it sounds amazing. This has Jaw Wobble's bass thundering throughout here, Keith Levine seesawing on the guitar, John Lydon caterwauling over everything. Albatross is just downright frightening. Just warped my little mind. This is my original copy from 1979. This came out, I think, somewhere around there. Of course, there's no date on here. Don't know. Yeah, I kept seeing this in record shops, and then Public Image Limited came on American Bandstand and did an absolutely cacophonic version of Pop Tones, pulling people out of the audience, and Dick Clark was going manic, trying to control it. It was just hysterical. I'm like, I have to find this album. Then I found it. Great album. Love Public Image Limited. I think I have every Public Image Limited album ever done. While this is not my favorite, that would be Flowers of Romance, because it's just another thundering, frightening, difficult listen, but great sounding album. Can't remember who produced this, but it doesn't really say it has photography by. That's nice. I don't want that. I want to produced it. I'll have to look it up. But anyway, great sounding album. Not easy to find. I don't think. Well, I know that the that got a very big CD box set edition, which I do have. But as far as vinyl goes, some of the early Pill stuff is pretty difficult to find and can be a few bucks, but well worth it. And they reward heavily if you have the patience to deal with them, because they're an acquired taste.
Right.
Good choice.
Thank you. Cool. Right. I'm showing a band here, Chris. What your mate Rob has mentioned a few times in your live streams, and that is
it Blue Rodeo?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! No way.
Outskirts. This has also been mentioned by Ron Beaudry on his channel a few times, that this is a good sounding record. So yeah, Blue Rodeo. It's relatively inexpensive. It's not dear. It's cheap. So it's no cheap, good sounding record. So there you go. Outskirts, Blue Radio.
You watched Rob pop up now. He's like,
I like that
what's
one.
going on?
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we know Dave.
Right, okay. A band, an artist I recently got into, but I've got so many rabbit holes at the moment. I'm going to complete the band and Bruce Springsteen before I go down this massive rabbit hole. And this is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Oh, great.
This is his greatest hits. I had an Amazon drop on this one, so I picked this up for like £17. Originally, it was like £40-50 to pick this up.
Okay.
So, yeah, I get a lot of bargains on Amazon. Usually on a Saturday night when I've had a drink.
That helps. That does help. Softens the blow, doesn't it?
Yeah, they know what they're doing with Amazon, don't they? Oh, he's had a drink now. It's gone 9 o'clock. Let's put a promotion on.
Yeah, that's probably one of the finest, greatest hits you can get, I think.
So you got American Girl, I Need You, Refugee, Even the Losers, The Waiting, You Got Lucky, Don't Come Around Here Anymore, Running Down a Dream, Free Falling is my favourite, I'll be honest. I love that song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Learning to Fly, another big one, Learning to Fly.
Yeah,
Something in the Air. So,
that's
another
yeah,
artist that went too soon.
that's what spoils that greatest hit. Something in the Air. It was just a cover. It wasn't really. You know, it's a bit of a
But I like
novelty.
the album. The album. This is another Sunday morning album for me. They all seem Sunday morning albums here, but this is kind of a chilled out kind of album, but it's got some crackers on you.
I wouldn't call that a chilled out album. It's too rocky for chilled out.
I'm quite surprised tonight, Simon, that you haven't shown any stereophonics or anything that looks like. Oh, see, that's the album I've been after, to be honest. That's what I look at.
Yeah, it is so good.
I've got 2 copies, Chris. If you want a copy, well, I've actually got 3 copies. But yeah, I could spare you one.
Yeah, this is Rebels. It Ain't Nothing to Me, which is kind of a Don't Come Around Here No More Southern accents. Yeah, this is one of the more solid Petty albums. Absolutely love this one.
I've noticed Americans really like that Southern Accents album. Yeah.
I used to stream that Damn to Torpedoes was the best Petty album and full stop. And then I started acquiring. I've had Southern Accents for years, but then I only recently got Full Moon Fever, and that's great too. So it's getting to be. I'm becoming more of a Petty completist and wanting more and more. Wildflowers. That album. So.
Yeah. Wildflowers.
My new addition. Do you want to see my new addition to the record?
What you got?
This Slipmat, right? And it says vinyl record. It doesn't do any justice, really. But
can't really see it.
No, Dale's and Temby. So the top one is yellow, the bottom one is red, and it says vinyl record. I thought it was cool.
Got mine. Got mine, Chris.
Oh,
what's going on
it is, man.
Table? Yeah, I got it.
Have you ever been to Temby, Simon? Oh, there it is.
No, I haven't. I have been to Wales a couple of times, but not Temby. Yeah, that's going on the turntable. So yeah, thank you very much for that, Chris. We appreciate that, mate. Anyway, Ian.
Canada's got stuff. Canada's got stuff. England's got stuff. From me. Sorry, not Canada, America. It's got stuff. And Canada's got a Stereophonics album that's, as Richard put it the other day, it's on a canoe on the way over in the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay, it's time for another great sounding live album. Produced by Tony Visconti, of all people. And you were surprised which one it is. And it's one of the best live albums ever.
Oh, yes.
Thin Lizzy, Live and Dangerous, recorded on the Johnny the Fox tour at Hammersmith, and some tracks here from the Bad Reputation done in Vancouver. Jailbreak, Emerald, Southbound, Rosalie, side 1. Side 2, Dancing in the Moonlight, Massacre, Still in Love, Johnny the Fox meets Jimmy the Weed, Cowboy Song, The Boys Are Back in Town, Don't Believe the Word, Warrior, Are You Ready? Suicide, as the film called it. Baby Drives Me Crazy, featuring Mr. Huey Lewis on the harmonic.
Interesting.
Yes, and it ends with the rocker. You wouldn't believe this is over 2 or 3 nights in different venues. It's just awesome. Tony Visconti.
You love your live albums, don't you, Ian?
I do. This is just a fabulous live album. I've had it a very long time. It's getting a bit poorly. I'm looking for a better cover, but the record, they just sound great. I love playing this.
Yeah, it's a great one. Peter Frampton, well, it's one for me for live albums.
Yeah, this is up there with it. And then you get, some great pictures. Another great sounding one, which I haven't got an album, and that's UFO Strangers in the Night.
Oh, I love that album. That is so good.
That has got I think it's got the definitive versions of Love to Love, Doctor Doctor, Lights Out, and this the
Totally.
That is just when that band was at its awesome peakness. When you've got Pete Way and Michael Schenker, Phil Mogg, and Andy Parker on drums. That is, to me, that is UFO and always will be UFO.
It's like their biggest selling album. It has to be.
What's that?
Ian, what year did that come out?
78? Okay. Something like that.
I think it's 78.
Yeah.
It was 70 something, yeah.
Terry says the version of Still in Love with You is awesome.
Oh, it is. That again, that's the definitive. There's a lot of live songs are the definitive versions of that song. On that, it's just an album that's just got absolute amazing tracks on. They're all brilliant, but I'm looking out for Strangers in the Night on album. It's on my wish list. I had it on CD because I was buying CDs and that, but no, I want it on album now.
As you do. That happens all the time. Trying to stop that. I'm like, I have it on CD. It's good enough. I don't need it on vinyl, but I end up buying it on vinyl. We haven't been to Scotland today, I don't think. Have we?
Don't AC/DC kind of Scottish, aren't they? Well,
Yeah.
Originated from there. That's the thing, isn't it? That's the lead thing.
This band, in my opinion, did some great albums, but was never better than their debut, and that's Big Country's The Crossing.
They are coming to Cardiff. Coming to Cardiff.
Are they really? Go.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yeah. They have a ton of albums, and they're all really good. Peace in Their Time is a great album, too. Later, but still good. This is like a greatest hits album that came out as a debut, and it was produced by Steve Lillywhite. So go figure. In a Big Country, Inwards, love that song. Chance, or is that Change? Oh, it is Chance. Fields of Fire was the big one. The Storm, Harvest Home was a big one. Lost Patrol, Close Action, Thousand Stars, and Poro Man.
Oh, Poro Man. I did a short. I put a short out of that today.
I think I got that on cassette somewhere.
I actually got to see them in 1980.
You saw Big Country? I hate you.
Yeah. In 1986. They were on the Queen and Quo. And Bella Som, but they got bottled off because they were shit.
So what kind of music, because I've seen advertising on Instagram and Facebook a lot saying they're coming to Cardiff, they're doing the Tram Shed, which is like 200 people you can get in there the most. So what kind of music do they play? What kind of genre is that?
Celtic rock.
Okay.
Yeah. They were really known off of that album for their guitar sound. They had a very bagpipey feel to it. Their albums kind of phased out some of that over time.
I mean, I got a lot of stick when I ranked them. I said that I love the album, but it sounds too much like U2. It took them a little while.
Sort of.
Yeah, it took them a couple of albums to really get their sound. Yeah.
The band to me that sounds more like U2 was Ireland's Cactus World News. Sounds a lot like U2, but they didn't really get a whole lot of.
I mean, I love Big Country, brilliant band.
Talking about Scottish bands, real quick. I know that Travis are coming to Wales. They're going to Llandudno in a hall. So, me and Liz have been talking about it. So we're kind of. The only problem is it's like fucking 5 hours away. Because it's right at the top of Wales, and I'm like right at the bottom. It'd be quicker to get to Leeds.
Really?
Because you got to go through the old road.
Play that song to death.
You could do it, Chris. It's in your country.
Yeah. Well, we might do it because it might be a good weekend trip. To be honest, seeing Travis.
Rival
I've seen
train.
him live. Seen him live before. The only other Scottish album I've got is The Best of Franz Ferdinand, which has got the whole of 3 tracks on it that I know. But it's a good album, though.
Get the train up there. Get pissed then.
Yeah.
Probably take you 6 hours because there's no direct route. You'd have to go. Oh God, you'd have to go into England to go back up because the only other way of doing it, you'd go up to. You could get up to Porthmadog, get on the Festiniog, and then go up to then into London. No, itself, it's a bizarre trip. Nah, it's a.
You can do it from Tenby, and it takes about. I worked it out about 4 hours, but that's with moderate traffic.
Yeah.
So there's a long way to go
It is
to watch Travis.
It is.
Yeah.
And then you know it's going to rain because he's going to sing that song "Why Does It Always Rain on Me," and then you're going to come outside and it's going to be pissing down the rain.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can't do a great sounding discussion without showing this great record by Fleetwood Mac.
100%. Yep.
This is
Who's that?
That's Mick Fleetwood and Stevie Nicks.
So, yeah, and this is the first. They found in the charity shop it was in their glass cabinet for £10. So
Wow.
that's not bad. £10. That's pretty good, and it's a near mint condition. So can't complain really. Yeah, Fleetwood Mac Rumours, great album, classic, 1977.
100% true.
Yeah, scraping the barrel now, lads. Well, I am, not you lot. So
Don't worry, we can't do it.
I'm going to go back to slightly Stereophonics, but this is Kelly Jones' live tour that he done just before lockdown. So this is all the hits. He did an acoustic set in Hammersmith Apollo. And this is a triple LP set.
Wow.
So he's done a UK tour. I couldn't go to it, but it's got 3 discs. So it's got all the hits from the Stereophonics on here, but they're all acoustic hits that he's done. So it's literally just him and his guitar playing the music. They've got like a guitarist with him. The only song that they played with a drum set was Dakota, the last song. So there's that one. Regional mention I will do is, because we're on Kelly Jones, his last album, which is Signed to Me. This is more of a chilled out, relaxed. It's more like the new Stereophonics album, Rich.
Yeah.
It's more mellow. He's talking about his childhood, with being brought up in the South Wales valleys, and following his dad around because his dad is a singer as well. He used to do all the clubs in South Wales and Wales and England. So it's a pretty chilled out album, but yeah, the artwork pretty cool. So honorable mention. But yeah, that is a good album to get. This is the Kelly Jones live set that he covers all Stereophonic songs acoustically. So there you go.
Nice
Look into that. Sounds good.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Right, Ian,
Right, it's
how are we
time.
doing?
It's my favourite band of all time.
Status quo.
Yep.
Final answer.
And this is their what they consider the first real heavy one, and it's the rawest of the lot. Pile Driver from 72. It's just plug in, push the record button, and away we go.
Yeah.
It opens up with Don't Waste My Time, but when you get onto side 2 with Big Fat Mama, Paper Plane, it's raw. This is just raw power, and I love the cover. I mean, on the back you got a gorilla with a pile driver bomb, and in the side you get the lyrics and Quo in '72. But that defines status quo. That picture.
Yeah, I agree. Ian, don't you find it's a shame it's difficult to get your hands on those early Quo albums? Because that would just complete the collection, wouldn't it? If you could find
Yeah, I know you want this one, so I'm always looking out for it for you. So don't worry. you need this one. It's just that raw, the rawness. You know, everyone says it's not. I mean, my favourite's the Quo album. It's a little bit more polished, but it's still a great album. But when you want raw Quo, this is raw as you'll ever get.
They're usually quite common to pick up, though, aren't they? Yeah.
Even the reissues of this sound good. So it doesn't matter if it's a reissue or anything, but I've still seemed to keep that rawness. But this is the only thing is it isn't got. It's on the green label, but there are ones that's on the swirly label.
Right.
But
Prime Quo. Prime Quo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great album.
Right.
Status Quo is hard to find in the States, or if you do find them, they're not in great condition at all. So it's tricky.
Right.
Oh,
Over to you, big man.
Well, to echo what Simon said a minute ago, there's no discussion about greatest sounding albums without talking about Steely Dan's Asia.
Oh,
For those who love it and for those who hate it, it's still a great sounding album.
is that an American first?
Oh, this is a reissue from not too long ago.
Right. Still sounds great.
Super album, best track listing. It's a greatest hits in and of itself. Black Cow, Asia, Deacon Blues, Peg, Home at Last, I Got the News, and Josie. Most of which were played to death on American radio, but it's so good. Yay! Anybody else? Come on. I
was going to say this to last because I think it's just one of the best sounding albums ever.
Full stop. Yeah, it really is.
I feel like that's a band we could possibly get into, to be honest.
This is an American pressing, an early American pressing, this one. It's not the very first, but it's very early, and it does sound good. So this is the AA1006.
That's
which
the
I think
one.
was the second one, which is before the real best one. So very early pressing. But not
Rich, is that from Amazon, or is that a like Rhino?
This was not a Rhino. This was just a Universal reissue, but pretty easy to find on Amazon.
The American copy is better than the UK and the Japanese pressing. It is considered the best.
So yeah, I even have a I can't even think with SACD. I have an SACD of this album, and it doesn't sound as good as it does on vinyl. Why? Don't know.
Yeah.
So, go figure.
It just does, for whatever reason. Right. Going to return back to jazz, a jazz classic. We talked about Dave Brubeck. Now it's Gertz and Gilberto.
Oh, I have that. Great album.
A mono copy, 1964. Yeah, first pressing. £10. You can't argue with that.
You can't. I mean, for an original pressing of that, that's pretty good. Does it sound good? That's the main.
It does sound good. And there's various repressings of this you can pick up, which may even sound better than this. I don't know, but old school first edition isn't a bad way to go, is it? So yeah, classic jazz piece there. So another good place to start regarding jazz.
Totally.
You all right, Chris? Do you want something to show, or should I move on to Ian? Are you
No, I got
are you struggling?
some show. No.
All right,
It's gonna be greatest hits, so just deal with it.
that's fine. That's fine.
No, Gallagher. I actually preferred him to Liam. Songwriting wise, he is the backbone of Oasis. He is the genius behind Oasis, if you want to call them geniuses. I actually prefer his solo stuff to sometimes Oasis stuff. It's a bit more mellow. It's a bit more laid back. It's a bit more creative, I find, and it's a bit more listenable, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
So this is Volume 1, 2011 till 2021. I think without him, there would be no Oasis. I know you're going to call them the brothers, but he made some. I am going to pick up Council Skies, his newer album, when it drops slightly on Amazon, which it will do when they bring out new Oasis.
Right, it's a really good album.
So everybody's on the run, AK What a Life, If I Had a Gun. That is an amazing lyrical song, If I Had a Gun. It's just brilliant. Walk the Doors, Ballad of the Mighty Eye. We're on Our Way, great song that is. It's a Beautiful World, Blue Moon Rising, Flying on the Ground. So anybody that want to pick up an old Gallagher album, get this, because it's just a brilliant album.
It is a good call.
I can't.
Have you got Council Skies, Chris?
No, that's I'm going to wait till the price drops on Amazon. I did go on his website thinking about getting the box set, to be honest, because this was so good. And I was so impressed. Because I was so far back on the albums that I thought if I get the best of, then I've covered a lot of music then. Because he's released, I think, like 4 or 5 albums.
It has to be, yeah.
So, this is bloody brilliant. I got to be honest.
It is good. It is good. Right,
So,
Ian.
There's my...
Yes, and we're going back to Scotland.
Yay!
For one of the best Scottish bands, and they do get forgotten about. Dan McCafferty, Manny Charlton, Pete Agnew, and Daryl Sweet, Nazareth.
Yes.
And the Razzamanas. Now, I saw this band as that lineup in '84. I love this album. It's raw. It's produced by Roger Glover. My favourite thing on this album is actually on the bottom of the cover. It says, "This stereo record can be played with every modern lightweight pickup. The stereo sound, however, is produced only when stereo equipment is used." Great songs on here. Some of the classics: Razzamanas, Alcatraz, Woke Up This Morning, Bad Bad Boy, Broken Down Angel. One of the greatest bands to come out of Scotland. There they are. Brilliant album.
What year was that, Ian? What year?
Cool.
On the Philips label, isn't it?
It's on the Philips label, this one, yeah.
Yeah, they sound good, don't they?
Yeah. I can't remember. It's got to be 75, something like that.
Yeah.
That's early, I think.
Yes, it's an early one.
I see a lot of Nazareth in charity shops, and I keep meaning to pick one up, but I didn't know kind of if it was any good, to be honest.
Oh, they're a great band. They did a great version of Joni Mitchell's This Flight Tonight. That was their big hit. Hair of the Dog is a great album. That is one.
Very much so.
Yeah. Go, but this is just 73. Thank you, Terry. I was a bit out, but yeah, it's not 2 years out. But yeah, this is the best produced because Roger Glover, apart from being a fantastic bass player, he is a fantastic producer as well. So we go, Razzamanas, Nazareth.
Yes, worth looking for.
Yes, always good looking for Nazareth's albums.
All right, Simon, choose. Should we go to Ireland or Australia?
Ireland?
Ireland. All right. We're all familiar with the team of Lenoir and Eno producing, and they did a cracking job on this one. U2's Unforgettable Fire album.
Yes, yes, it is.
Shit. That was going to be my next one.
Beautiful sounding album, solid all the way through. And although it's not the best version of Bad ever done, because that was on that live album that they did. Oh my God, that's so good.
Under the Blood Red Sky.
That. The best version of Bad you will ever hear. No, not on that one. It was an EP that came out about the same time as this, and it was for Sort of Homecoming, and there's a live version of Bad on it that is stellar. Well worth finding. But this was Pride in the Name of Love, which really took them into the stratosphere. Unforgettable Fire was a single on here. I think Bad was a single too. Can't remember. But soundscapes galore. It's recorded in a castle for F's sake. It had to sound good. Wide Awake in America, that's it. The best version of Bad live you will ever hear. It is so good. So Unforgettable Fire, my opinion, one of the best sounding U2 albums. Full stop.
That and Joshua Tree, I'd say.
Joshua Tree's up there. It's just, I guess for my money, it just got so overplayed and yeah, great. I loved it. I wish they would do a double live version and put the entire.
Yeah, this is better than anything live they've ever put out.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got the best version of I Will Follow on here. And absolutely stunning on this.
Electric Co is amazing on
Yeah,
there.
it's 40. It's just classic U2. I love this. Can't believe I brought this when it came out.
Wow. What year was that?
83, I think. 83. Yeah, 83 this came out.
83. Wow. It's hard to believe that some of their records are that old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They hold up so well, don't they?
Yeah, I love playing that.
yeah. I mean, people bash the shit out of U2 all the time just because Bono's a bit pretentious. Well, okay, he's a lot pretentious, but still.
Them early years, I think up to Lactone Baby for me is just that's the U2 I love. I mean, I saw them on the Joshua Tree at the Arms Park. The Arms
We said
Park.
this, didn't we?
Yeah. So yeah, it was an incredible gig.
Right, gentlemen. Two cheap albums here, which sound great. By the same artists. Cat Stevens, Tifa Tillerman, and the Teaser and the Firecat, of course.
Yeah.
Great
So
sounding
good.
albums. Inexpensive. Pick these up for £2, perhaps. You know, in the UK or the US. There are loads of them around, and they just sound great. What can I say? Pick them up. Cat Stevens. Classics.
love the cover art on those. Very cool.
Great music. Right, Chris.
Is this going to be the last round, or what are we doing? Because I'm looking at the times 2-hour mark.
Well, we can go on rapid fire if you like, from here on in, if you like. And just
Okay.
show the...
I've got 6 to show, so I'll do 2 rapid fires.
All right, okay.
That's fair.
There are 2 rapid fires. Okay. So, when you said you want to go to Australia, I was like, please go to Australia.
Yay.
Yes.
So, this is singles, greatest hits. This is the only U2 I have. I'm not a massive fan, but I think this will do me fine for now until I go down another rabbit hole. So, you got to go New Year's Day, Beautiful Day, Streets Have No Name, Sweetest Thing, One Desire, Walk On, Elevation. You know, it's got everything on you. pretty much. There's the band with hair. Even the guy who wears the baseball hat has got hair. So, yeah, good album to have. I'll do one more one. Nirvana.
Oh, yes.
You know, this is their greatest hits. I think back in the 90s, they were massive. And this is on like a grey smoke vinyl. Picked this up from America on eBay. This is a Walmart kind of pressing. But you've got some absolute crackers on you. You know, you got Teen Spirit. Smells Like Teen Spirit. In Bloom. Dumb. Apologies. The Man Who Sold the World. Lithium. So, yeah. Nirvana. Good band. That's Nirvana was my gateway into the Foo Fighters. So, yeah.
Great American band.
Yeah. There you go.
You're right, yeah.
Fine. Quick fire here. Okay, from 1980, one of the best produced new wave albums ever.
Yes.
Yes, that's great.
Yeah, no.
Great sounding album.
Yeah, brilliant tracks on there. The brilliant opens up with Astrodyne, which is just a fabulous track. Western Promise and Vienna. You have to play them together. That they go into each other, and it sounds a lot better than in the single. I love this album. Yeah, it's just brilliant. Bit of Mike Oldfield, the second album, Hergest Ridge. I love Tubular Bells, but some of the production wasn't as good. He learned from that, and he brought out this gem. The production on this is wonderful. I love this. And a friend of mine, Joe Janfrey, lives about 30 miles from Hergest Ridge. Absolutely stunning album. And another instrumental album by the wonderful Jean-Michel Jarre. This is just a perfect production. His third album. A lot of people think this is his first album. It's not his first album. But I think this has stood the test of time, this album. From that daunting part 1 to everyone's favourite, number 4. Number 6 is just brilliant as well. So, yeah, an absolute gem of an album. And there is a very young-looking Jean-Michel Jarre. Came out 1976. And I got this in 79. So, yeah, excellent album.
Nice one. Is that your lot there, Ian, or you got?
I've got 3 more, so we can get.
I'm going to go around again then, shall we?
Yeah, we can go. I can go around one more time.
All right, then. Over to you then, Richard.
All right, rapid fire time. Australia, In Excess, Kick.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, just there you go, Kick.
Yeah.
Which is what it does. I mean, the saxophone combination and just drum attack on here, it just makes it easy.
Yeah, Meditate and it's brilliant. I love Meditate.
How about Iceland? Is there a bad sounding Sigur Rós album?
Nah.
They're beautiful. They're soundscapes. They're sonic. I don't care if they're singing in Icelandic or even gobbledygook. It just works for me. I've seen these guys like 4 times. Once at Red Rocks, and just stunning. And then Jónsi did a solo show for his Go album, and that was visually the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. So there are no bad sounding Sigur Rós albums. I just pulled that one. There are also no bad sounding Cocteau Twins albums. None. They all sound amazing. This is Bluebell Knoll, which is probably my favorite, although I like Heaven in Las Vegas also. I got into them because of the video for Carolyn's Fingers came up on MTV's 120 Minutes, and just listening to Elizabeth Fraser's voice, I had to get this. So I had this on cassette way back in the day. This is a reissue from 10 years ago. And one more for this round. After the Clash decided to not be the Clash anymore, they became Big Audio Dynamite and blew my head off with their debut. I love the sound on this album. It is absolutely huge. Fun equals MC squared. Medicine show for all the little sound bites and effects they stick in here. This is a fantastic sounding album from Big Audio Dynamite.
Yeah, they took the 80s sound and used it properly, didn't they? They were
Expand. They just did more.
Yeah, because it wasn't smooth, was it? It was hard hitting, that album.
It was, and just all the little sound samples, which for a album in that genre was different, because usually that was rap and stuff, and that was just so good.
Right, these are my last three. Start off with Boston, great album, great sounding album. I think I heard it quite recently on a live stream, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but a good one to pick up. This next one is mega. Now Ian will appreciate this. This production on this album was huge, and it is the concert.
Oh God, yeah,
This was unparalleled. How big a production this is. It had utilized this Westrex 35mm recordation, 24 RCA 44 BX microphones, 73 musicians. Basically, every musician had his own microphone. It was huge, massive production. I don't think that there's ever been a Frank Sinatra record quite the same as this.
No, I want to get a copy of that, because I listened to it on Spotify, and it sounded amazing through my system, and I thought this would sound even better.
Yeah.
So I'm looking out for that one. So.
People overlook this record. They see it in charity shops and they think, nah, Frank Sinatra. Buy it. It is seriously, seriously good. It'll probably be one of your showpieces in your collection. You wouldn't realize, it's a sleeper.
Yeah, and he recorded a lot of his old stuff, didn't he? Because of contractual reasons, he did a lot of that, some of his old stuff, and it sounds better than the originals, I think. Yeah.
Really, really great album. And my last one is this. I think it was early 80s. I think, I could be mistaken, but it's Roxy Music's.
Oh, yes.
Avalon.
Very
great sounding album. Reasonably priced as well. So if you want a few nice sounding albums which are reasonably priced, this one I recommend as well. So yeah, Avalon, beautiful. More than this, just great songs. Mm-hmm. And the female vocals as well, which pitch in on some of these songs, are just gorgeous on the ear. Lovely, lovely stuff. So yeah, definitely recommend Avalon, Roxy Music. And so it happened to be that this is a super deluxe copy, as well as another copy I have on Polydor as well. So yeah, pick those ones up. Great albums.
Right, I've got three left, so let's go through them quick. I showed this last week, and I've actually played this again this week. Madeline Peru. Like, the voice of this woman is ridiculous. It's from start to finish, absolutely tremendous. So, if anybody hasn't heard of this artist, go check out, especially album.
She's got a good set of lungs, hasn't she? Very good set of lungs.
Yeah.
So,
and she can sing as well.
Number one. Number two is going to be a greatest hits. and it's Elton John Diamond. So if anybody wants to get into kind of Elton John, this is pretty much the greatest hits. So it's got, well, you can see how many tracks. It's ridiculous. I know he's made a few albums, 1 or 2.
Just a few.
Believe it or not, my favorite song from Elton John is Sacrifice. And the reason for that is when my dad used to take me to football on a Sunday morning when I was a kid, that was out. So it always reminds me of me and my dad going to watch football. So, yeah, there's that one. And then my last one, I know I showed before, but I absolutely love this band. I've seen them live. They're absolutely freaking epic live. And it's Embrace.
I love that album.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So this album is of nothing. This came
2004,
on.
was it?
Yeah.
Around about then.
So this has got Ashes, Gravity, Wish You All Away. Just a good album all the way through. They're a bit more mellow kind of rock, but they were big when they first came out. But this album was their comeback. Is it? I want to say 2005 for some reason in my head.
It could be.
Sorry, 2004. So this was a reissue in 2024.
I think that's the one I have too. That album never got an issue in the United States, and Gravity was never a single here.
No.
And I absolutely love that album.
This got released for Great British Groups on Album Day last year. So, yeah. There's
Good
my
one.
selection. In Peru, you've got a bit of Elton John, great hits, and this album I keep going back to time and time again. It's Embrace Out of Nothing. So,
Yeah,
there you go.
great album.
The album after that is really good too.
Can't go wrong with Embrace. Right, Ian, your final pieces.
Right, this is an album I literally walked into the shop back in 1982 and picked it up because I like the cover. The
Asia.
debut album from Asia. And when you pick it up, you look who's on it. First thing I noticed, it was Roger Dean did the picture, and then I looked who was in the band, and I brought it without even knowing what was on it. It's their best album. It's produced by Mike Stone, and I don't think they never ever topped this album.
I
The
agree.
album's good, but this is just it's got Heat of the Moment on it. It's got
Not the same, but
but this is just the Dogs doo-doos. Cutting It Fine, Wildest Dreams. Fantastic album. My next one is a Genesis album. Not my favourite, but it's the best produced album they ever made, and it's Steve Hackett's last album, Wind and Wuthering. I mean, you've got the 11th Earl of Marl on here. Blood on the Rooftops is just beautiful. One on the Vine, Afterglow. You can't go wrong with that one. And my last one is a Pink Floyd album, and it's The Magnificent Animals.
Animals.
The best produced Pink Floyd album ever. The sound effects are brilliant on it. In dogs and pigs, and the Lord's My Shepherd in sheep. Of course, it's an original copy. And I've heard the remaster, and do you know what? Give me that any day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot beat the original sound on that. It's just pure magic from Pink Floyd. Some of Roger's best writers.
Ian, why can't they recreate the original sound, do you reckon, on these Pink Floyd albums?
I don't know. I just think it was. I don't like it when they muck about with it and try and smooth it out.
Yeah.
This is how they wanted it. This is how Roger wanted it in the first place. And you cannot beat original pressings. I mean, Animals, it's a classic album. It's an iconic cover with some of the most iconic tracks they ever did.
first presses are usually are pretty safe, aren't they?
Safe as houses. You cannot go wrong with that. It's like The Wall. My Wall is an original, and it sounds brilliant.
Yeah.
Any original albums sound the best. I don't. I
They
mean,
do in general, not every time, but generally they sound.
there is
Generally,
one
right.
exception. I showed it last night. Marillion's Fugazi. When they mixed that was done under drugs. Now, when they brought out the box set with the remix on it, and I put that on, and I'll go, boy, oh boy, this is how it should have sounded. And when there's a documentary on it, and they said they were never happy with the original mix, but they are so pleased with this mix. It's the best mix of that album. But it's not. I mean, it cost an arm and a leg to get it on album, so I've got it on the Blu-ray, and I always play the Blu-ray version because it's got the surround sound. It sounds absolutely gorgeous, and that's the only time. And I suppose some of the Led Zeppelin, Led Zeppelin 1 sounds okay remastered, but you just can't beat original pressings.
Can't. Right, is that it then, Richard? You showed everything?
Yeah, for the most part, we're good.
Yeah. Right then, I want to thank everyone who's taken part in the live stream. All the records you've took the time to find and showcase. Thank you, Chris, Richard, Ian showing killer records. Richard, you're just a star now on the live stream universe, and Chris showing records which under the radar we've not even thought about. So I want to thank all you guys for taking part. I appreciate your time here and doing what you do, and it's been a fun topic, and we'll do it all again regarding some other thing, some other theme in maybe a week or two time, who knows. So I'm going to end it here, and so I bid you farewell for now. Bye now. See you later.